What's good, guys? It's Chino B taking you here with me on a path to luxury. And today we're just going to go over a few different topics. One of them is I feel like knowing who you are is knowing your character, your characteristics, your traits, your strengths, and your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And the best way I would describe myself is that I'm just art. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a rapper. I am a businessman, but I love music. You know what I'm saying? I love acting. I love shit. I love cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do different things, and these are artistic things. So I was telling one of my associates or one of my friends the other day, I was like, yo, bro, I love your style, your art. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to uplift people. I don't have a problem with giving a compliment, especially to another brother, another man, you know what I'm saying? Let them know, like, it's good to uplift other people. You never know who day that you're making when you just say something nice and genuine from the heart, as opposed to just looking somebody up and down. You thinking that they look nice, you thinking they look thorough, but you don't want to say it because of whatever reason, right? So with that being said, like, I define myself as art because I'm not linear. I don't believe that anyone in life is really linear. If you're linear in this life, I feel like you're not doing enough, you're not exploring enough, you're not finding yourself enough. It's more than life than partying, drinking, fucking smoking. Like, a lot of shit, like, I do, you know what I mean? Or I used to do, I refrain from doing, so it's like I try not to do it. And you know, you mature and you realize, like, yo, that shit not my joint. Like, I'm just me. I just want to be in my own lane, and my own lane is being art. Like, I'm a chef. Like, I'm a businessman. I like stocks. I like different things. I love real estate. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to put myself in a box, and you shouldn't either, because we're all art. At the end of the day, you should be exploring different avenues, throwing darts at the board, trying to see what's going to land. And people make fun of that, saying, oh, you're a jack of all trades but master of none. But I master the trades that I have learned about, and it's good to continuously grow, because you trying different trades, it's going to you're going to master something eventually, and you're going to find your niche. The only way you can do that is by exploring and by being an artist, or being, you know, if it's another definition that you have for how you want to carry yourself, that's fine. But I feel like you can't be in a box. Don't try to put yourself in a box, because you're supposed to be explorative in this world. That's what truly being defining is. You know what I'm saying? I love fashion. I love God. You know what I'm saying? God is art. For real, for real. Like, if you ever think about how beautiful the world is and how perfect things is, like, I mean, most of us are cynical, and it's understandable to be cynical nowadays because of the way that the world is, and, you know, dating's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it seems like it's not what it is supposed to be. But I'll say it like this: like, I think everything is perspective and perspective and perception. And what I mean by that is that that's like my go-to answer with a lot of things. I'm like, well, it's just based on your perspective, and it's based on your perception. What I exactly mean by that is that I remember one of my buddies when I was in Job Corps. He taught me chess too, and he told me a long time ago about perspective. Like, he used the example, like, you can be thinking that your girl cheating on you from a distance. You walking up and you see a chick talking to some dude, and it look like he's spitting game at her, but, you know, believe none of what your eyes see and only half of what you hear. Or it might be vice versa, but you get the point. So he was basically saying, like, you know, perception is reality, but your perspective is not always actuality, essentially. You know what I mean? Or that's the way I'm gonna complete it, because he said perspective is not reality. I got that. But if I was to add on to that, perception is not actuality. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people's let their perceptions and perspectives of individuals that they may or may not know shape their beliefs, as opposed to doing inner research and really deep thought. You know, a lot of things that we have today discourage you and distract you from having deep thought. You know, we have memes, you know, jokes here. Nothing is being taken. It's nothing wrong with having fun. Like, I'm fun, you know what I mean? Like, I probably sound like I'm not fun by saying I'm fun, but it's just like, when does it get to a point that you distinguish having fun from actually making strides in your life? Because at the end of the day, like, I'm 25, bro. I'm a millionaire. I want to be a fucking billionaire one day, right? How are you going to get there is changing your actions in some type of shape, way, or form. And that's the same thing that goes for anybody in any type of pursuit of goals that they have. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn that you can't keep living in a certain type of lifestyle if you're trying to develop a new one. It just doesn't, because they don't collide. They don't go along together. You know what I'm saying? One is going to be envious or not attracted to the other. You know, lifestyles are very particular. Like, one thing I always talk to my moms about, right, or people, is that, you know, your taste define who you are. And I believe I have spoken about this in a way, but it's hard to speak about it in 3 minutes. But I'll say it like this: like, your taste define who you are, because you can, like, it's like cars. I always, you know, I'm not even the biggest car head, but as I've gotten older, I like exotic cars. I like foreign cars, specifically German made, and I like Italian, of course, but German engineered cars, forget about it. So anyway, with foreign cars, you get a certain type of demographic of people that like foreign cars, right? Most say with bougie or sedity, like, but it really goes deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I like Mercedes, right? And I might be biased, but I think Mercedes drivers are better than BMW drivers. It's fucked up. It's just a joke, but it's real shit. I do, because I think that BMW drivers be trying to race niggas and shit, and I don't be trying to race. And I know your car fast, but I'm trying to cruise. You feel me? And that's what I mean by the difference of drivers, like, and taste. Because BMW is a foreign car. It's a nice car. I believe it's German engineered. Don't quote me on that. But the people that tend to get BMWs are people that tend to like to drive fast. They like to race. They're kind of younger. Or I won't say younger minded, because I'm not trying to come at people, you know what I mean? Like, that's not really my point, but you're more adrenaline driven. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Like, you're more into that. Like, my ex, she had a BMW, and her shit used to go. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, this shit fast. As opposed to, when I notice, like, it's not even a matter of age. It's just a matter of taste, likes, and interest. And you get where I'm coming from if you get where I'm coming from. Maybe if you got to experience it, but, like, BMW drivers drive fast, and they're, you know, there's, like, speed demons, right? Then you got the Mercedes drivers. We're, like, the old ladies, like, you know what I mean? Like, the cruise, like, we just want cruise, nigga. Like, we just want to feel the fucking vibe type shit. Now, what is my point with this is that those are taste, you know what I'm saying? You gravitated towards the fucking BMW because of your taste, you know what I'm saying? Like, your taste is more of it's fast, like, it's a fast joint, like, that shit go, and the cruise on the steering, but you're not looking for the ultra luxury experience. You're not looking for the ultra super infotainment system like in the Audis. Like, I love Audis. Audis is fire too. Audi has some of the best entertainment systems in the fucking car that I've ever seen to this date. Better than shit, even what, yes, like, nigga, like, that shit fire. So what I would say is that even with that, like, if you like Audi, you might be more of a techie. You might be more of, like, into technology, kind of geeky type shit. I like geek shit. So my point is that, like, it's like Windows and Apple, anything in life, you know what I mean? Wine or beer, you know. Like, if you like beer, you might be rugged. If you like wine, you might be sedity or whatever, posh, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. It only is a problem is that if you don't know your interest and you don't know what you like, if you don't know what you like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know what you like, then I think you can have a hard time identifying yourself and identifying what it is that makes you truly happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, I have two sides of the family, and both sides have instilled some type of class in me. You know what I mean? No matter what our history is in family. And class is something that I feel like is something that I resonate with. You know what I'm saying? I resonate with Oriental culture. I resonate with artistic culture, you know what I mean? Or I resonate with people that like to go to the beach and work out and eat healthy and things like that. That's what makes me happy, you know what I'm saying? So you have to learn to know yourself, you know what I mean? You have to learn to get out in the world and figure out what it is that makes you enthralled, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more than just the mundane. Don't get caught up in the mundane, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you should have aspirations in the world, you know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of people I admire in my life or previous to my life, and I have characters and like, you know, like superheroes and shit like that, or, you know, or famous people that is, you know, inspiring to me, and people that I model myself after. All like, because at the end of the day, everybody models himself off of something. We all are uniquely designed in our own way, and we are designed by our interests and likes. That's what creates your character. Once you understand that and have deep thought and really understand that God created everything so perfectly and meticulously down to the cells in your body that activate certain things to prevent coldness and illnesses and sickness, like, we are uniquely designed but all aligned in such a way. And, you know, you have to acknowledge that. Like, you should have, you know, people that you look up to and you admire. I have friends, family, like, besides the Instagram models, a lot of the shit that I follow on Instagram is shit that really inspires me or motivates me in some type of shape, way, or form. Maybe it's name dropping, maybe it's not, but nowadays I say Andrew Tate, Myron Golden, my pastor Benny Perez, my friend Kevin, my boy Hutch. These are all people that, let's see who else. Of course, my grandfather, of course, mom and pops, but overall, like, I'm thinking people that really, like, I admire or I am inspired by. And what I mean by that is that, like, something I admire about my boy Kev. Like, my boy Kev, he one thing I noticed out the gate with him is that he tips everybody, right? And I was like, yo, like, and it's not me, like, I don't pocket watch and I don't really give a fuck, right? But I'd be like, yo, that's what's up, like, that nigga tip a lot of people, like, and it's not on some flexing shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know when somebody trying to flex me, it's not even that, like, he not flexing, he's just genuinely like that, like, that's just his shit, like, he just likes to acknowledge people good work or make people feel good. But it also taught me something, like, because I'm always business minded and thinking of ways to capitalize and shit, so I'm like, yo, like, not on some ungenuine shit but on some real shit, like, it's just a good way to make people remember you in a way, and it's a good way to kind of initiate, you know what I mean, conversation. It helps, like, you're not paying people for respect, but out the door, you're giving people something to look forward to. Sorry, I got my coffee. But you giving something to people to look forward to with their encounter with you. You know what I'm saying? You make them feel appreciated, and especially if it's genuine. Like, boom, here's $5. Like, you never know. Like, I've worked in customer service. I've worked in restaurants and shit like that. So you genuinely never know who you might be blessing that day. You know what I mean? And I think that's just a beautiful joy, like to openly, you know, tip people and just it's an energy too. It creates an energy of abundance. So it's like I'm giving out money, but it'll come back to me tenfold. So I think that's something to admire. I think you should be around people that you admire and are inspired by at all times, whether that's content that you're engaging with, content that you're, you know, looking at constantly. Like, if you're not inspired to do something, then something, like, if you, like, it's a friend of mine, she likes horror, or she's associate, she likes horror shit, like horror, and I like that she likes that shit. Like, I fuck with it because I think that's something that's unique. Like, you like your shit, like, and you own it. You know what I mean? Like, I like Dragon Ball Z. I like Dragon Ball Z because I like Vegeta. I like Vegeta because no matter what, he can get fucking ran through the ringer. That nigga gonna get back up. He's still the Prince of all Saiyans. I'm still the Prince of all fucking. You know what I mean? I'm always going to be the prince. I'm always going to be the king in my world. You heard? So, you know, and he really liked that, and he's ruthless, nigga. Like, I'm willing to go through any extremes to make sure I meet my goal within reason with God. But yeah, like, get out my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, no rap, get out my way. And you gotta, you know, just admire people like that. I like Deadpool. He's comedic, but he's deadly. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of mercenaries and assassins movies and shit like that, but because I like martial arts. I like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee trained, you know what I mean? And he would kick your ass, but he's very, you know, intelligent and philosophical. Malcolm X, you know what I mean? Civil rights leader. Man that really, you know, aspired to fight in the black man that we need, that we lost. You know what I'm saying? The good fight of not just fighting to fight, but to fight for a cause that's bigger than ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That's for the generations that's to come. You know what I mean? So those are, of course, Jesus Christ. And I'm gonna say Jesus Christ. It's gonna sound cliche, but it's not, because Jesus is my Lord and Savior, first of all, but he's also just not sweet. Like, if you really know Jesus and you really read about Jesus, you know he's not like sweet, bro. Like, don't play with my mans. Like, he not like no pansy, you know what I mean? Like, he really will tell you, like, yo, you not doing right, you know what I mean? Like, he speaks in how you would say paradigms, I believe was the word, but essentially, like, he speaks in, you know, parables is the word, and it's wisdom, you know what I mean? But he's not like, he will flip the table real quick, and you gotta understand that even a man of God has his limits when it comes to what he is willing to accept and to not accept, and that's something to admire, you know what I mean? And sacrificing yourself for the purpose of others is also always going to be something to admire, admirable. You know, so overall, I just feel like you gotta know yourself. You gotta be yourself. You gotta understand what it is that makes you go and get up in the morning, and what it is that you really want. Because understanding what you want out of life, what your taste or what inspires you, what you admire, it's going to help you shape a better future for yourself. I think that's what everybody wants, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think at the end of the day, don't compete with me, you know what I mean? Because you can't afford to compete with me, you know what I'm saying? I say that humbly. I say that because you can't pay the dues and the cost that I paid to get to where I'm at, because it's my life, you know what I'm saying? You can be inspired by it, you can admire it, but you can't contend with it, because we're all in our own lane. I can't do what you do, and I don't know what you've been through. I can probably never even imagine some of the things that some people been through, you know what I mean? It's a saying that goes, we can all throw our problems into like a haystack, right? We all throw our problems into a haystack. How many of you is gonna really want to? I bet you a lot of you is gonna want to pick up your own problems back, because you ain't gonna want to deal with what the next person is dealing with. You're not willing to put in the work that the next person is willing to put in. So at the end of the day, you gotta learn how to get up, get it yourself, and have something to want besides this secular shit. You know what I mean? Because the party's gonna be there. The girl's gonna be there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want a female that's gonna help inspire me, you know what I'm saying? Help me with my goals, help me achieve what I want, that don't want me to spend up all my fucking money, you know what I'm saying? That don't wanna be in a club and shaking their ass and up in niggas' faces and shit. I don't think, like, I guess, you know, I'm far from insecure. I think anybody can look at me and tell I'm not fucking insecure, but that's what you define me having standards, then I would take that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't bother me which one way or the other, because at the end of the day, always remember, somebody that has the same mindset as you somewhere, some way, somehow in this world, don't give up on what you believe in, as long as it's the right things. And yes, there is a right and wrong in life, ideally. Have a good night or good day whenever you see this. Peace out. Subscribe to my YouTube, follow my channel. Follow me on Instagram at Official Chino Brown. Peace.